All right, so today in reading, we're going to do several things, but our skill for today is setting. Does anybody know what setting is? Bella, I see your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sweetie, so that you can answer the question. The setting of the story.
The setting's like where you tell it's like where the part is and the other part is.
Where the place is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where the story takes place. So we're going to be focusing on that. So yesterday we read the book Clark the Shark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to be learning about setting today. We're going to focus on several things about the story. But first, I want to go ahead and do our high frequency words. And then we'll learn about another skill. And then we'll go into the poster for setting, okay? All right, so let me present my screen. All right, please give me a thumbs up if you can see the high frequency words page. There we see it? All right, so I'm going to have our class in school unmute themselves. You're going to repeat after me so that everybody else can follow you guys, okay? All right, so we ready? So I'm going to say it and then y'all are going to say it.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
A and go, got, have, where am I? There we are. Not, the, to, will, you. All right, so now we're going to do our spelling words. Are we ready to repeat them after me?
Yes.
All right. Sad, bit, jam, glad, list, win, flat, if, fix, rip, kit, mass. Awesome. All right, guys, go ahead and mute yourself. Thank you for helping me out. All right, so now we're going to be looking at verbs. How many of y'all, just give me a thumbs up or a sideways thumbs, because I know you heard about verbs. If you remember what a verb is. You remember? Yeah. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what a verb is if you don't remember. If you kind of know what it is, then you're good. But we're also going to look at this poster here. All right, so you should see it's a white page with like green on the corners. All right, so right here it says words that describe actions. So verbs are words that describes actions. They tell what someone or something is doing. So if you see a verb that you do not know, you can look them up in the dictionary. So here's some examples. So here on number 1, it says, Manuel likes to munch on apples. So munching is what? A type of what? Show me a munch action. Biting an apple, right? So that's a munching action. All right, let's go to the next one. Kayla grinned at her friend. Show me a grin. Show me that action. Oh, yeah. Those of you in masks, quickly did it and then put your mask on. All right. Next one is number 3. It's fun to jump in the pool. So I won't let you jump since you're right here in front of the screen, but you know what jumping is, right? You're moving. All right. Ducks float on the pond. So the action that I know that you can see is you're floating. You can go like that. Floating in the pond. The horses gallop on the track. So galloping is another word for probably kind of like jogging or running, galloping. And then the last one, it says you can bounce the ball. So we know that they're talking about the ball. That's our subject or our noun. And the verb is the ball is what? The ball is bouncing. So they give you this fun little tennis ball bouncing. So that is one of our skills that we're learning today. So verb is what? An action verb, right? So an action verb. All right. So we're going to go ahead and look at our anchor chart. So on our anchor chart, that's basically our poster for our skill today. So remember our skill? What was our skill? You remember our skill? Something of the story. The starts with an S. Rolanda, do you remember? No? The setting of our story, right? So we're going to look right here. Let's see. I'm going to present my screen. Oh. Where are you? There you are. All right, so here's our poster. So in our poster, I think I've showed Miss Lil's class this, but I'm going to go ahead and show my class this. So the setting is where and when. I think we both had it both classes because we did it with the Recess Queen. Remember that book from the first week of school, The Recess Queen? So we shared this poster. The setting is specifically 2 things, where and when. So where does a story happen? Does it happen in a castle? Does it happen in the forest? Does it happen in space on a spaceship? So you have to think of where and when. So when does a story take place? Does it take place at night? Or does it take place in a season like winter, summer, fall, or spring? Or what time of month? So is it happening in October? Or is it happening in July? Those are 2 different months, right? So where and when are 2 important things that we want to make sure that we know that it relates to setting of the story. So we ask ourselves, why is the setting important to the story? So that's one of the questions we're going to be looking at for the story Clark the Shark. So I'm going to pull up Clark the Shark story. And we're going to be focusing on page 24. So let me present my screen here so we can see that. Does anybody have questions? I saw a hand, but I'm not sure if it was a question or not. Nope. We're good? All right. So let me get my screen up. I'll try this one. Share. That's it. Perfect. All right. We have Clark the Shark. So do we see where Clark the Shark, do y'all see the book? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read these 2 pages, and then we're going to talk about the setting of the story, okay? So we're going to read page 24 first. So it says, or, whoops, I'm not on the right page. Let's see. There we are. Page 24. So it says, in class, when the lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, when the teacher's talking, don't go walking. And what do you know? It worked. Attaboy, Clark, said Mrs. Inkydink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. So on page 24, we can see in the picture, right? So my question for y'all is, Where is my paper to ask you that question? Here it is. All right, so where do the events in the story take place here on page 24? Somebody raise their hand to tell me. Page 24. Sebastian, do you want to go ahead? On page 24.
Classroom.
In the classroom. What else could be the setting of the story?
A school. A school.
The school, right?
School.
All right, so I see, I saw Omar's hand, raising his hand. When does the story take place? So we know where, it could be the school or the classroom, but when does the story take place? Bella? When does the story take place? Does it take place? So when do we go to school?
Fridays, Mondays.
So weekdays, right? That could be one. What else could be when do we go to school? Do we go to school at night?
No.
No, we go to school when?
In the day.
In the day, or it could be the morning, in the afternoon. Those are specific whens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so good job, guys. Y'all are paying attention. All right, so we're going to go to the next page, and I'm going to read that one to y'all. It says, at lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, only munch your own lunch. And it worked again. Way to go, Clark, said his friends. Clark grinned. Lunch is fun. All right, so somebody tell me, where does this event happen? When and where does this event happen? When and where? Jorge, do you know where this event happens?
It was in the lunch place.
The lunchroom, right? Yeah. So when do we eat lunch? We eat lunch around probably the afternoon, right? Probably noontime. Yeah, so that is a specific place where this happens from. Good job, Jorge. You can mute yourself. All right, so here is page 26. On this one, let's read it. It says, at playtime, Clark told himself, easy does it, that's the way. Then my friends will let me play. And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. So actually, and then I can read page 27. So it says, but then a shadow fell across the playground, a ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. It's a new kid, and he looks scary, cried Joey Mackerel. Swim for your lives. The squid squashed the slide, and it snapped off the swings. Oops, my bad, said the new kid. So with these two pages, where does this event happen and when does this event happen? All right, I can't see hands. I see, who is the Bella, who's right behind you? Who's sitting behind you, Bella? Is that Mackenzie?
No, I was sitting behind you, but she comes right here.
Oh, okay. Well, she has her hand raised. So, Mackenzie, do you know where this event happens?
Outside in the sea.
Outside in the sea? Okay, that's a good one. Clinton, do you know where specifically outside in the sea are these fish friends happening at? Where it's happening at? Nope. Okay. So does anybody want to help out? Let's see, Omar. Omar, go ahead and unmute. There you go.
The ocean.
We're in the ocean. So look at the story. Look at the pictures.
They're outside, like the school is inside the boat, and inside it's like water. Water's everywhere.
Where do you think they might be?
The playground.
The playground in the sea, right? Good job. So go ahead and mute yourselves. And we obviously know that this is, one second, guys. Sorry, guys. Alexa was reminding me of something. All right. So it does happen during the day, during school hours, right? In the afternoon or maybe the morning time. It just depends on your class, right? All right. So I think we did a pretty good job. So let me look at my here. So right here on page 26 and 27, why do you think the author had the kids in the playground? Why do you think he chose this spot for page 26 and 27? Bella, why do you think the author chose this specific spot for the story on these pages?
Because the teacher maybe said, "Come on, kids, it's playtime."
Yeah, that's a good detail, right? So now the author made it specifically because the playground is a place to what?
Play on.
The play on. So that's a very appropriate place for it, right? Good job. All right, guys, I think we are good on reading. So what I want to do is show you where our assignment is for reading today, okay? So it is, I don't think it's about the story, it's about skills now. So all you do is basically find the words from the word bank. So I'll show you, let me show you instead of explaining it to you. I'm always like to see what's in front of me instead of people telling me, right? So I need to see I need to see evidence is what I need. Let's see, where are we? Here we are. All right, can you see my seesaw screen? Everybody thumbs up? All right, so the activity for today for reading only today is the know it and show it. So basically it's about the verbs are words that describe actions. So today we learned about the verbs, right? So verbs are words that show actions in sentences. So they tell us exactly what someone or something is doing. So your steps for today are: 1, for each sentence, circle the word that describes an action with the pencil tool. Then type an action word from the box that means almost the same thing. So if we look at this activity, you can see here that there's a word bank and it's dances, drop, gobble, turn, wail, and wave. And here are your sentences. So what you're going to be doing is matching the action verb to the action verb in the sentence. So number 1 says, those tools spin fast. So what is the verb in this sentence? Does anybody know? What is the verb in that sentence? So what's the action? What is the top doing? On number 1. So number 1 says, those toys spin fast. So what are the toys doing? Because the toys are our noun. What is our verb in that sentence? Rolando?
Spinning.
Yes, spinning. So if you look at the word bank, which one of those words in the little circle or the box matches spin? So is it dances, drops, gobbles, turns, wails, or waves? Spinning. If we know that spinning is around, what do we have to do to spin? We have to what? Sebastian?
Turn.
We have to turn. So those two match. So you would put turn in the blank below. So we just did number 1, right? So now you all have to do is the next 5. Just like that. And you'll cross out the ones in the bubble or the little word bank so you don't confuse yourself, okay? All right. Does everybody understand what to do? Yeah? All right. So go ahead and you can log out of this meeting and go to your Seesaw account to complete that activity. It's the Know It and Show It. Bye, guys.